Go. I don't exactly know when we're going to be live audio-wise, guys, because we did hit start stream. What a night we have tonight. We're not going to waste any time. The second I hear this, see this on screen, that we are, in fact, live, which I think is right now. What is going on, guys? My name is Tubby Emu. Thank you so much for joining me for Raw 25. Not just myself, though, tonight. Joining me, co-host Cornell Gunter. He's an NBA Live producer. Cornell, I think you're more of a WWE fan than I am, to be honest with you, going back through your feed. Like, once we started connecting a couple months, like, 6-8 months ago, started going through your feed, you're a bigger mark than I am, bro. You're straight WWE for life.
I'm the worst. I'm the worst mark for hot takes. I love it. I love it. I love it. I've been a wrestling fan since I was like 5-6 years old. So it's really ridiculous.
All right, so like when you go over this stuff, because we're gonna go over Raw 25, and my big thing happened tonight. The thing I didn't fanfic it, and we're gonna talk about this. It's not a fanfic. This is look at that. You look at it on screen. It kind of looks like a fanfic, but this is happening. I'm telling you. Is there anything that before the show that you want to like just touch on really fast? That's like a big thing. That you just what's the one thing? Give me one thing right off of the bat besides the stunner. You can't say the stunner. That was what made the night for you.
Damn, that's hard.
Right.
I will probably go. Fuck. Damn. Cause it kind of got lackluster, but I guess I would go for the club with DX, NWO, that whole regime. I think I'll go with that. Only reason why, because New Japan following, you see Finn, Carl, and Luke Gallows all loving and wanting to be a variation of DX and NWO. So to see them finally with those guys in the damn ring doing the suck it and too sweet, it was like, that was it.
Yeah, that especially, it's kind of like us fans, like we get too caught up, right? Like they have this awesome Bullet Club over in New Japan, right? They do all their thing, and we get lost in that because they're so awesome over there that when they come here and they're toned down, we disapprove of it, like, we dislike it. But then when it finally you get the payoff tonight, it's a cool experience. It's a cool moment that makes me appreciate it.
No, hell yeah, it makes me. It makes you be like, you know what? All the cease and desist, you know what? That's okay because we got this moment right here. But no, I definitely agree. Like when when Finn came over, we all wanted him to come when he came. Rewind. When Finn came, we all wanted Carl and Doc to come over for the Bullet Club thing. Then when AJ came and Carl and Doc came right behind him, everybody was like, oh my god. We got AJ with the club, then we got Finn with them. But I think now we're really going to get like a real variation of the Bullet Club. For some reason, to me, I feel like tonight was like the passing of the torch. But
yeah,
whatever.
It kind of seems like that, right? Like they're in Manhattan. There's two things that are kind of worn out with me right now. We have a lot of conversation. I want to know your guys' thoughts in the comments. What is Undertaker retired? Based on like the way he was talking, it made it seem like, maybe he was challenging, maybe he was retiring. Tim Fiore, I can't think of his name. Tim from ESPN was actually there and reported that he heard it was retired, but then he corrected himself and said the audio might have been messed up. Whether or not Taker's retired, I actually think this is where, when you just brought up, and I'm not trying to take down your mark just because I wanted the club more than anybody. It's easy for me to say now after the fact, a year later, I didn't want the club, or 2 years later. But now it feels like it's going to mean so much more, right? It feels like if you're in WWE and Vince wants to give you that payoff, you can't just come from the outside and come in and get it. You have to get beat into the ground so far into WWE so the WWE fans realize you probably can't do it. Like, look at what Styles did when he came in. Styles came in, got buried by Miz, was in the championship match against Roman, lost, and then people thought he was buried, and then he's now the face that runs the place. Like, he's literally the SmackDown guy. If every time there's a champion like that kind of surfaces, like Miz, where Roman dropped it tonight on the show, that's Roman, and SmackDown is AJ, 100%. So that would probably be my moment. Because I think Taker retiring in a no out of sort of a fashion is great. Because right, we've all tried to fantasy book his retirement, and just to have like a retirement out of nowhere. Like,
see what I think is. See, even touching your point, I think, first off, I don't think Taker retired. I think the Phenom retired. I think that gimmick's done. Because if you looked at it, he had no hat, he had no gloves, he had no long coat jacket. So I think that persona, that gimmick is done. I do think we see him right off in the sunset with the American Badass or Big Eagle.
Just because it's because of the ramp. That was the joke that I put out tonight with the ramp, because I was like, yo, come on, like yo, Taker, we want you to come back. No, bro, my hips gone. We're at Manhattan. Oh, you mean I have to go 5 feet? Deal. And he just shows up.
Yo, listen, I swear, as soon as he came out of Manhattan, I swear he said he was already in the ring. I was like, damn. Like,
you weren't expecting that, right? Because normally when Taker's music plays, by the time he got in the ring and started speaking, and they finally turned off the music, if he was in any normal arena, he would just be going down the ramp. He would.
Oh my god, yeah. Like it reminds me of the Royal Rumble. It's like hauling in all the big guys. A couple years ago, they like Big Show. All those guys got on the back, and they just like rolled their ass to the ring. That's literally what's happened with Taker. Like I was at the previous WrestleMania, and it was funny seeing everybody have to walk fucking 3 miles from the entranceway to the ring, and seeing Taker come up at the halfway point was like, screw that shit. I'm not walking that far. That was fucking.
Yeah, and actually, Pulse is. Come on, Pulse, if you want to join the chat, feel free. Now that I took that off, it's way too loud. No, I'm going to put that back on. We're going to dirty it. My dog actually chewed it, Pulse. If you look at it, he actually destroyed it. The one thing that I love the most, I'm going to go a little off track here, that it's going to kind of make people... I love the fact that the dynamic between seeing people return and what people thought of the return. Like on social media tonight, Twitter, like whether people thought like it was a waste of time just to have these little small returns, you know what I mean? Like where they just like in a room for a second, or they do all this other stuff, and people are like, the slander, they come back for just this. I'm like, dude, how many times have legends said they just love being backstage, man? They love hanging out. Like, I think people take it too seriously. Was there any segment tonight that you didn't enjoy from the show, from Raw 25? That kind of like ran its course and like kind of felt a little... I know some people said like the Apollo Crews, the whole thing in the ring spot got a little weird. Anything to you that stood out as kind of weird?
I would say the only thing that really stood out to me kind of weird, you're going to get mad at me, is the women that they had on that stage tonight. Like, my thing...
Okay, let's hear it. No, I'm gonna be fair. I've already heard you slander. Was it you or somebody else that I saw? Somebody said, "Why does Jacqueline look like a substitute teacher today?" or something like that. Like, what the? What is this slander, bro? What?
No. I love Jacqueline. I love Jacqueline. It was just the fact that she looked like a damn substitute teacher today. Like, it wasn't my fault.
Yeah.
I think that with all due respect, I love her. Like, I love her. If you ever want to see a bloop, you know what I'm saying, of an attitude at a bikini contest, just go YouTube Jacqueline. But the thing about Kelly is that she's up there with Nikki Bella, Brie Bella. You know, I guess people say they changed the wrestling business. Too. Nikki became very, very good in the ring, so I give her that credit. Trish Stratus, Tori Wilson, was also, I'm like this is my thing. A lot of these people that were up there were just sex appeal. You know, when I hear the term wrestler, I see Michelle McCool. You know, I see Melina. You know, I see those guys. I think of like Beth Phoenix. I think of, you know, those kind of women that really wrestle, not the one that was out here twirling their shirt or their bra.
But can't you say though the wrestling has had this where there have been different eras? So are you basically saying that Kelly is the ECW, Raw, SmackDown, early 2000 and was it 6, 7 to 11, 12? You're saying like that's their version of just like the sex appeal for the guys, right? Like, cause she did then she do the shows and stuff. But I still don't think it was wrong to have her up on stage. I mean, she's like she does a show on E, doesn't she? So she's connected to that whole NBC universe.
It's publicity. I definitely get that. But even Jacqueline was the first African American women's champion. Like, you know, I see Jacqueline, I see Nikki, I see Maurice, I see Michelle McCool, then I see goddamn Terry Runnels and goddamn Kelly. What the hell y'all doing up there?
Okay,
Terry Runnels look like dust. Like, get your ass out of here,
bro.
Yo,
I'll be 100% honest with you. I didn't think that was Terry Runnels at first. I 100% thought that said Brandy Runnels, and I was like, oh shit, it's happening. I 100% thought it said Brandy Runnels. I was like, wait. It took me a minute. Like, yo, who the hell is Terry Runnels? Like, it literally took me a minute to like not to disrespect Terry Runnels, but like in my head, I was like, oh my god, Brandy's here. Like that, I don't know why. Maybe everybody thinks I'm dumb, but this was what I thought. I was like, okay.
Oh no, because her theme, you were just like, huh? Like, I heard the theme. I was like, is this somebody like they viewing as somebody from way back in time? Because I'm like, who the hell is this? I'm like, Terry Runnels. Like, what? Like, no. Like, to me, she's most known for Puppies, Actually, that's more Jerry Lawler, but also she's most known for cheating on Goldust in real life, and I'm playing it out in an angle. But whatever.
So they got a lot of stuff going on. So you weren't a fan of Kelly Kelly. Let me go down the run sheet really fast for anybody that did miss Raw 25. So Raw 25 opened up at the Manhattan Center. Obviously the Ico Pro signs from back in the day, the systems. Not only that, did you see the I can't think of the exact sign. People brought some vintage signs from back in the day, from like when Raw was on TV, like local businesses that would have signs. That was pretty cool to see. We had them open up the show basically at the Manhattan Center, and then we started off with Shane and Stephanie in the ring, basically putting over the company, the fans, everybody, and then they brought out their father. And then they did the segment, Cornell, with the they brought out a plaque. And at first I thought like, yo, this is really tacky. And I don't know why. I think this is where my fantasy booking came in, and I was like, this is stupid. I was hoping for KO, and not because for storyline wise, it would make sense, right? Because KO and Shane and Vince, and they all got a whole thing on SmackDown. But you're here for Raw 25. So right. Stone Cold's the gimmick. Right. But the way Vince brought us in, Vince is better than anybody.
Of course.
And I'm just going to tell you like this now, and I'm going to be a starch defender of this going forward. I'm not going to say Vince gets everything right. But I think the average fan that thinks that they know what's going on, I'm going to go ahead and say Vince is a step ahead. I think where the step gets lost is where a hot phenom comes out from the outside and they expect everything right away, versus now I have this belief, and it's just because it's true based on what we've seen and who ends up becoming a thing, is you kind of got to wait. You kind of got to eat some shit for a while. You need to become WWE superstar, not wherever the hell you're from. So they come in and they tease the stunner forever. And then, so did you honestly, was there any part of you that thought he's not stunning him? Like he was going to pull on? Because he threw Shane under the bus.
I'm not going to lie. When he had me for a second, but when Vince grabbed that beer, I was like, nah, you're down, man. I knew for a fact. As soon as Vince grabbed the beer, wanted to do the little cheers and start throwing it back. When Stone Cold got it on his blazer, his sports coat, I was like, yeah, Vince, you're about to get stunned. Like, but that whole segment for me, it felt like I was watching it in 98, 97. Like, Stone Cold came out, that pop was insane. Like, we haven't heard a pop like that in a long time, to be honest. But then, like you said, they teased it. They gave you what you thought was a swerve with Shane getting a fucking stunner, but then Vince ended up getting a stunner. And you're like, oh my god, I love wrestling, because I mean, she probably saw on social media was like, what a great opening segment. Oh, that was so like.
Yeah, it's like the best thing.
That was great.
But like when I break down, and this is where, just because this is where I'm gonna tag in my fanfic a little bit later on tonight, is you don't. It's not. I hate the fact that I'm saying fanfic, right? You just look at what's going on with Vince. And Vince is, that segment and that pop for Stone Cold wouldn't have meant as much if they had not thought of Vince turning on the fans like that. Right, because the whole concept, and this is like the slap in the face. Vince basically came out tonight and trolled every single one of you, being like, everybody says Vince doesn't know what he's doing. He basically came out and he was a gorilla tonight, going like F you, I am. Like, you know what I mean? Right. Like he's rubbing that in your face. And as a paying fan, you love that when you're watching it. But you hate it when you're seeing it play out on TV, like the stuff when it's not him, like when you see just like what you perceive as his booking, his everything, and you don't like it. But when this man gets on TV, when this man, does something, did you see the gulp, bro? I can't tell you how much I've missed that goddamn gulp where Vince is, and I used to have a triple chin, so I got to see eventually if I can get this gulp to come down. When you taking that gulp, he just sits there. He sells it so perfectly, my man. It's that thing you want to watch when he's sitting there like, oh shit, it's coming. You know what I mean? Like that's a thing.
I will say you right now, what Vince did tonight, just like you said, if Vince did not act so mad about the plaque and all that, and turn on the crowd and like basically was like go back in time to like 90, 97, 98 Vince Corporation thanking himself, none of that, like the reaction, like you said, wouldn't have happened. The fact that it felt, like I said in the beginning, it felt like old school. It felt like I was watching Stone Cold come out and everybody's relating to him kicking his boss's ass. Like, that's literally how it felt. So, no, I definitely agree. If that segment didn't go how it was, granted, the pop would have been the same. I don't think the pop would have been the same because the fans were so ready for somebody to come out and shut him the hell up.
Yeah, they would have.
Number one is Stone Cold.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Like this is what makes it hard for wrestling, right? They didn't have to do this tonight. Stone Cold just kind of came out and went like, hey, stunner, stunner, boom. And that's it, because people would just cheer for the stunner, because that's what wrestling is, right? It's like, and I've said this with Braun Strowman. They teased Braun Strowman putting everybody through tables, and then they had the horrible match with Brock Lesnar. But Braun hadn't done anything up to that point to become a main eventer. And now he's gone through garbage trucks. He's tipped over trucks. He's been like the nightmare on Raw. And after No Mercy and how the big letdown, look at him now. He just put Brock Lesnar through a freaking table tonight. So to see a guy like Vince and to go back to what that was to rile you up is awesome. Because, you know, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I've been working on a comedy special, and it's kind of like psychology. You got to lead people in a way to get them to think something, and you have to expect what they're going to react to what you're showing on TV, like down the road. It's a branching thing. It's not easy, man. So Vince nailed it tonight. From there, we had Sasha Banks, Asuka, Bayley, and Mickie James. Weird pairing, but you got to get as many people on TV as possible tonight. 8 women, and it ends with Asuka, and then Asuka took out her team. Do you think, honestly, is this a thing? Is this Asuka's winning, or no, we're throwing her out on TV? She's not winning, no way.
I think unfortunately WWE used that term as she's never been pinned, because I don't see her winning. I see Sasha winning. I see Sasha winning. I see Alexa fighting Asuka before Mania, and I see us getting Asuka and Sasha. To me, I think that's the only match that you can go with Asuka, because she can't fight Charlotte. The whole Ronda Rousey stuff, that's just rumors, and plus if Ronda, you know what I'm saying? Like, if that's
it ain't rumors at this point. It's a Tubby Emu confirmed. I put my stamp of approval on it. Ronda Rousey versus Asuka is happening at WrestleMania 34. And Cornell, I'm gonna tell you why. I don't like to bust into fanfare, but I'm gonna do it right here. I'm gonna give you a quick one. I'm gonna fill your paper. I'm gonna fill your wallet right now for Asuka. I put it out on Twitter the other day, right? Asuka, you're right. Nobody can pin her. What is Asuka gonna do? Does she just keep running through opponents, or do you just let her either win the title, or just for the next couple weeks destroy the hell out of everybody until right after the Elimination Chamber? And then Ronda comes out. So you can have Asuka for the next couple weeks, like her kick, she takes down everybody, she takes out her teammates, nobody can stop her. She starts getting TKO victories, like maybe they throw in a couple blood packets, and that's all you have to do, because Ronda could win. Ronda could come in and win the Rumble, and because for those that don't, Asuka's already got a victory over Alexa. So she could just steal the belt now. Asuka winning the belt at Mania doesn't mean anything because she's undefeated. It's meaningless. Somebody slaying Asuka at WrestleMania is the money. So she's not winning the Rumble, because her winning when she's got this streak behind her doesn't mean anything. I'm just gonna throw this up now. You guys can eat. I'll be the Skip Bayless. I'll take the shit. You guys can bring back my cold take, my hot take, and you can pour some water on me, but it's gonna happen. Let me look at some chat stuff really fast because I didn't get a chance to look at it. The Zig said Miz versus Bryan is happening. I don't want to tout it out, but if only somebody had called this very same thing happening. Brandon says WrestleMania 35 is in Philly. Did it officially get announced? I don't think so. I'm still hoping for Minneapolis, my man. Tubby, what do you think of the burial, the revival? Is it a burial?
That wasn't a burial. That's a salute. Like, a lot of people have to understand that.
That's the old school. You get your ass beat.
Yes, like remember when Bray Wyatt and them had the segment with The Rock. Like, the whole Wyatt family had a whole segment with The Rock. And yes, The Rock beat all three of them, whatever. They had a WrestleMania moment with The Rock. That's not a burial.
People aren't going to get that. I honestly, let's ask the chat, guys. What do you think? Was it a burial tonight? Honest to God, give me 1 for burial, 2 for not a burial. I don't know, Cornell. My counterpoint would be, could it be a burial, though? Like, could their social media stuff in the past couple weeks have gone past WWE regulations? Or is this just the best possible thing to happen? Because I think it kind of shows that if people mess around in WWE, the Bullet Club are going to be there to kind of keep you in check, like DX would.
Right.
It's kind of a big deal.
I don't know. I look at it as not a burial because, one, they were on the show. You got guys like Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, and all of them who are just sitting at the crib or sitting in the hotel watching it. So I don't think that's a burial. And I mean, there's other people that was on the Raw roster that probably didn't get used tonight. That probably sitting right there watching. These guys had a moment with the NWO and D-Generation, that who are arguably the top 2 greatest stables, of the say of all time, not just attitude but all time.
Yeah.
And then they're in there with right now. You can see WWE's putting their money into the Balor Club, so they're in there with them mixing it up in the Manhattan Center that has an historic feel. I don't know.
That's what I said last year, and this is where I want to bring this up. I brought that up last year when KO, Sami Zayn, or it was Roman Reigns and Seth. They were mixing in association, right? This was back when they did the triple teams with like Braun Strowman, the Shield, and whatnot. Right. You're associating people. That's all you're doing. By combining all those guys in the ring tonight. And I think maybe this is a take too. Is everybody that was in the ring was a professional wrestler at the time. They weren't a sports entertainer. Yes. So if you have sports entertainer wrestlers pretending to be bad guys, no fists, no whatever, it's kind of like an initiation to get your ass beat by the bruisers of the old, right? The dudes that ran this company, they're initiating you. They're gonna beat your ass in. You're a big tough guy? You're a big tough guy? Huh? Well, we're gonna beat your ass. And I think that's what they did tonight. Unless if they get released next week, again, come back and slap me. That's fine. Don't think it's happening.
I'll tell you right now, I bet you within the next 6 months, the Revival will be the tag team champion.
Yeah.
So people they're not getting buried. Again, this is like back in the day. This is a simple of old guys showing new guys how it's done. You get the new guys in, you rub them off in this segment because people are gonna remember. Oh my God, you remember that segment where DX, Balor Club, and NWO all reunited and they all got together and they whooped the Revival's ass? Guess what? How do they get buried? Because you're gonna be talking about that moment. So,
I'm gonna hold that for a second because somebody in the chat had Triple H wouldn't let this guy get buried in front of him. There's boys. They are. That's the thing that I think a lot of people. Triple H has got his hand in NXT.
Exactly.
Do you think there's anything like he's put this time into all these guys, right?
Oh, hell yeah.
So he has got to now become. At what point? When does? Because Triple H has already done this. Vince McMahon came out tonight and got us more over than anybody. I think Vince McMahon tonight got us to hate him more than Triple H has got us to hate him.
Yeah. Okay. Hell yeah.
Yeah, because that's just Vince. Triple H eventually is going to have to find this way if he's going to play this on screen, the big name dude. He's going to have to, be burying his own talent. Like I see a moment eventually, like when he's got his boys up, like he could like fill the Bullet Club's head, and then he just puts the thumb down and he puts Styles in charge. Like he could exile Balor, and then Balor's is on this huge over thing. Like, they can do so much, man.
Honestly, you know what? That sounds great. They need to hire you.
That's wrestling, though, right? You could do anything. It's easy for us to say this shit, whether it happens or not.
I agree. Honestly, I 100% agree with you on that front. Like something like that, because people's always talk about, well, Finn isn't hot no more. Like, No, creative isn't. Anything good.
You being constantly told he's not over when you're cheering for him
exactly
is WWE with the best psychology in the world. That's all you keep telling people. He's not over. Nobody's cheering for him. Do you see anybody cheering for him? So that when people show up, you cheer for him, because WWE fans tend to show up at shows sometimes and they don't cheer for people. I think like if you had a TV show that if we saw a wrestling show that had a taped audience and we knew exactly how to react, that's one thing. But you have to be able to get some of these reactions. Let's cut down the card a little bit just to kind of keep on track. Undertaker returns. He cut the promo. I think he might have retired. I don't know. We're going to see. We had the poker with APA. We'll come back on some of these, but we'll just name off some of the guys. Heath Slater, Rhino, $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase was involved. You had the Usos, Jeff Hardy, MVP, Apollo Crews, Natalya, Dana Brooke, Titus O'Neil, and the New Day. Slater kept losing hand after hand. I will give WWE props for this ongoing toughening Heath Slater thing up with Rhino. It's not the most advanced storyline, but it's nice. And that's what I mean. I think I don't want to agree with Vince Russo here, but Vince said you need week-to-week TV and not hotshot booking, and this is carrying on. So it's crazy that Heath gets booked better than half the roster, right? I need a family. I need to get retrained. I need to do all this. Then you had the Raw general managers, which were announced and which got us our segment right there. Now, here's the thing. When I talk fan fiction and I say he's cleared, I 100% don't think Daniel Bryan maybe should wrestle. And I want him to, 100%, but then I just saw what happened to Paige, and in my head, I'm like, I want to watch Daniel Bryan wrestle. That's all I want to do. I love him. I would love to. But part of me, like, I think now I would feel guilty if I wanted him to wrestle and he got hurt.
So that's me, right? That's me.
That's
And the whole like the pay situation, that was literally a routine sequence that they did the night before in a different city, and accidents happen, right? So if Daniel Bryan went through a routine sequence in the ring and got hurt, everybody that was like, "Oh, F WWE for not letting him wrestle," da da da, we're gonna look at jackass. Like honestly, I tell my friends all the time, I sound like a party pooper. I don't think Daniel Bryan should wrestle. I'm perfectly
I'm
fine
agree
with
with
him
you. I'll
being.
agree with you on that.
I'm
Unless
perfectly fine
it
with him
means
being like
something.
an on-screen figure. Oh, 100%. Like you know how Kurt Angle came back in TLC and he had barely any spot. He had like maybe 3 spots, 4 spots.
Yeah.
And it was so safe and so simple. If Daniel Bryan did that, if he was in multi-man matches, like tag matches that did that, I'll be cool with it. But to see Daniel Bryan one-on-one with the diving headbutt, jumping out the
The
ring,
style,
jumping out
yeah.
the ring, like all that stuff. Hell
To be
no.
honest with you, I don't even think I want him in mixed match, and this is why the only reason I ever, and I'm gonna be honest with you, because I'm sure when we get going on these podcasts and everything, people are going to assume I'm a fantasy fiction mark here. I'm gonna show this. None of this was wrote to for me to expect what's going to actually happen at Rumble. I was just sick of hearing people say that if Daniel Bryan's not number 30, it's going to ruin it. So if he doesn't win, so now just by doing this, Daniel Bryan may not even be cleared to compete. Daniel Bryan could just be cleared to compete for a Ric Flair bump. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like where he literally
Right.
just comes down to the ring, gets eliminated, and then WWE can reiterate, dude, he's hurt. He's not wrestling. Are you stupid? Like, come on. Like all Miz has to do is like, and this is what I had wrote was you bring him out, Miz and Daniel have their thing. Maybe he looks a little concussed and you get a little scared and he gets eliminated. And then maybe he does wrestle. I think they're just kind of laying the groundwork here. And I think this is smart for WWE to do, because especially with all the injuries. Would you agree? Like we talked earlier about association, you put guys around each other. So if one gets hurt, you can kind of go back and piece them together a little bit.
I would say right now, like WWE, like a lot of people talk about the WWE style. Like, oh, the style is so watered down. PG ruined them. PG saved a lot of these guys' career. Like, let's be real. A lot of these guys were dropping like flies in terms of getting hurt and being done. Like like Edge. Edge had a neck issue. If WWE had a strict health and wellness policy like they have now, I'm pretty sure Edge's career would have had X amount of years on it. Because half of the time he wrestled under the condition that he was in, he wouldn't wrestle.
And that's a
Like
lot
right
of those
now,
guys,
at
man.
WWE, if you roll your ankle, you probably won't wrestle in 3 to 4 weeks. And a lot of people say that's stupid, that's dumb. No, they're thinking about these guys that have families, they have lives. They want that. They think about that. Triple H said this first, matter of fact, but about Daniel Bryan. He says when it comes to Daniel Bryan, when it comes to any wrestler, we think about the person before we think about the wrestler. A lot of companies are selfish. They have to make a buck and don't give a damn about your expense versus saying, you know what, let's hold off on him to make sure he's okay. So when he goes and gives us 100%, we know he's going to be good, and let's just go with this. Like, and as a fan, I get it. You want option A, even though he might not be healthy, but he gonna put on a hell of a show. But you don't know when he get behind that curtain, he gonna be hurting, and he might do X, Y, Z to himself, and you don't know what the hell is gonna happen to him. Or you can go with B, where you get a watered down version of it. You get some shit drawn out, but when the big bang happens, it's good. But you gotta wait maybe 2 or 3 pay-per-views later.
Yeah. I don't see, like, this is when I brought this up. I only originally said Miz versus Bryan in a way to kind of like literally limit it to where you can get that big pop, where you can get that yes entrance, because it's like this. Let me relate it to this. So Vince McMahon tonight comes out and starts to put over people and then turns on him. Right, he craps on him.
Right.
By Vince McMahon making Daniel Bryan number 30, that's like an FU. Okay, stop booing our show. Like it's the comeuppance. The only reason he would be number 30 is just to fix history, so every year we don't have to worry about booing the Rumble. I think, because I think that number 30 is going to be tainted, and I feel so bad for Rey Mysterio.
I'm telling you right now, I feel like this is how I feel. I feel like the guys' surprises should be in the beginning, like how AJ was, and the female surprises should be at the end. That's
Okay, so you think that order? Okay. Well, we'll have to break down the Rumble, because that's an interesting dynamic, the way you brought that up, because I saw in the chat, thank you for hitting that point, nobody got announced tonight for the Rumble.
Mm-mm.
So that, again, is going to lead, because that's how we did last year. Do you remember? That's how we got speculation about Daniel Bryan. Yeah. Only 20 guys are announced, dude. Daniel Bryan's got to be in the Rumble, because, if 10 spots are open, one of them's got to be for the GOAT, man, right?
And to me, it's crazy. And so I looked at, like, no lie, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know if it was because Raw 25 was in the way, but the build to the Royal Rumble match itself has been lackluster because we haven't had brawls that was like, oh my god, preview the Royal Rumble, da da da. We haven't had one person significantly strong from week to week to week. Now that might not be a bad thing. It might be a good thing because it might leave the possibility of nobody know who the hell is going to win. But I don't. I do kind of have like a disdain for the fact that we're not out here getting like Royal Rumble qualifying matches. We're not getting none of that stuff. I'm like, well, damn. Okay.
Were you a fan of that back in the day, like vintage style like that? Were you a fan of actually having to like earn your spot in the Rumble? You know, like put up some numbers and everything. Or do you like people just like being able to like? Because I know Cena got to me and other people like for just coming back and declaring themselves. Like, what is this? Just declaring yourself for the Rumble.
To me, I like back in the day because a lot of the matches storyline. So like back in the day, you'll see a guy like interfere in somebody's match and cost him a spot in the Rumble, and then you'll see like that storyline continues to build up as time goes on because it was all like this like the story really had a chunk of fucking meat that lasted for weeks and weeks and weeks. I get now the attention span of the average fan isn't as long as it used to be. I'm not stupid, I know that. But I love the qualifying matches because they provided so much story and so much context for stuff that was coming on.
And they were quick matches because I was going to bring this up when you had mentioned that. I always use the excuse, especially in the last 5 years, I used to say the Attitude Era was great for the big moments, but the smaller moments sucked, right? Going back and actually watching some of that stuff though, it really wasn't. Because they built the characters, and this is again, I hate to give Russo props here because I do think Russo needs to understand that people just love watching certain wrestlers. Like you can just love a wrestler, you don't need his character. You can just like literally respect the superstar, right? Like if you were a Paul Levesque fan and you only cared about what was best for him, his health, his everything, or Bryan Danielson, you only cared about him. Like you didn't care about anything else. You just wanted him as a person, whatever. I can't. Okay, I'm about to break into one of those busted out rants a little bit. So when you have those matches, those shorter matches that you got them in, boom, even if they were short, you still remembered the character. Like if you got busted in on and somebody cost you your match, your character was doing something in that character's exact fashion. Like you did something in a way to say this. I'd love to see the crowd, what they think. What do you guys think? Should they have had qualifying matches? Some people said Roman Reigns number 30. Do you think they do Roman Reigns number 30? I think they put him in top 5, top 10.
Yeah, I think Roman comes out early. And I also like a lot of people. That's the thing though too. Because Roman dropping the title to people are like, well, he's definitely has to win the Rumble. I don't see Roman winning the Rumble. I don't.
Up until that fan fiction, I would agree with you, and I said I didn't because they have the chamber, right?
Right.
So I would agree with you right there, Cornell. I don't think he has to. I think what we talked about earlier was the big thing, and I'll let the Reigns, whether you're a fan of Reigns or not. If Stone Cold hadn't came around back in the day, if somebody hadn't challenged him, like if you were pushing like Triple H and he was going to be the guy, right? By telling your fans that no wrestling's fake, that no, Roman's our guy. I don't care what you say, Roman's our guy, right? You've built this up to hate Roman, first of all. But then when somebody beats Roman, it's a big deal because oh god, this is our WrestleMania. This is the dude. This is the dynasty. This is John Cena.
Right.
People still haven't gotten to that point yet because they just don't like Roman Reigns. If this was Cena, you'd be like, he beat Cena like KO. Like when KO beat John Cena, that was what happened tonight. But instead, people just saw the only thing they saw was fucking Brock. Main event, Rumble again, number 30, Roman Reigns to shove down our throat.
Right.
Is that wrong to feel like that? Because I don't want to judge people. Like, and this is like our new philosophy with Headlocks for Practice. Like, I if that's why you love wrestling, that's great. But I don't know. It's
honestly, I don't think people are wrong for feeling like that. But I do think that we have to stop being so quick to jump to conclusions and assumptions. I think that we have to let stuff play out, and then see how it goes from there. Because I mean, granted, the writing's on the wall for Roman, right? We all know that. But this is my thing though too. People don't like Roman because of how he's booked, not because how he wrestles, not because.
Some don't like how he wrestles. I mean, you'll get a bunch of the people that'll throw it out there that he pretty much does the same 5 moves, but harken back to your comment about people's careers. I want those guys to do that. If you
Yes.
can wrestle the most limited move set, it's like you mentioned when guys got injured. Those guys back then did hardly any bumps compared to what the guys are doing now. And those guys are in like horrible, like some of those guys are in really bad shape. They're having a tough time.
Yes.
So like, and
Yes.
I'm looking at these guys doing now, like these, nothing wrong with these guys that are doing it because you're creating new wrestling fans that appreciate the acrobatic ability. There's nothing wrong with it in wrestling, but you get that feeling like, oh man. So you're one of those guys that you're feeling for the people. Like you care about them, like especially like with Daniel Bryan. You realize like I gotta see Daniel Bryan, but I really don't want to see him get hurt, and I'm away on the safe side of that. So
it's the approach of this, right? My thing is that I can't say I'm a fan of somebody like Seth Rollins, right? When he had that knee injury last year, because I'm a Seth Rollins. I love Seth Rollins to the point of no return. Like I probably have every single WWE shop shirt, sweatpants.
Damn.
I even got I even got like most of the Black and Brave stuff. Right now, I got on a CrossFit Jesus shirt. My thing is this, like, no, like it's legit. But my thing is like when he got hurt, me as a wrestling fan, at first instinct was hell no, Seth's not there. I'm not going. But then I realized, well, if I really want Seth to wrestle and he's on one leg right now, he's not gonna wrestle for a very long time because he's basically gonna wrestle hurt or he's not gonna come back 100%, and his career longevity is gonna be short. So then I sound like a real selfish fan. At the end of the day, I don't think that you can be a fan of a wrestler and then want them to do all these crazy ass spots and moves that puts them in a position to get hurt. And then they get hurt, and then you want them to come back ASAP, and you're not even thinking about their well-being. That's just, I don't know, man. It's just, to me, that's it's like contradicting in a way. Like, oh yeah, we want Daniel Bryan to wrestle, but if he wrestle, he might take a shoulder bump or fireman's carry or anything, and he can hit his head a certain way and
at any time, because you got Seth Rollins was in the ring tonight with a peep show. As we transition to that, and you had Jason Jordan in the bar in the ring, and Christian and Edge both are no longer wrestling. Edge was forced to retire. Christian stepped away, and you get a lot of these guys. Like I would be okay with one more match for Christian. This is what I had joked about this. I put out like this is the worst hot take I've seen all day, but it was my hot take. Christian versus Daniel Bryan, where Daniel wants a match. He's like, one more match, just one, give me one, and then Christian comes out. Like, just I don't know if I actually want to see the match, but like that's just like as a gimmick, one more match where Daniel's just like, please give me one, please.
I like that. Honestly, I like that a lot. I mean, my thing is this,
because they can never actually wrestle because they could just both say they're hurt.
But I do think if Daniel Bryan be at a WrestleMania situation, it should be his last match, and that's it.
To free him, because if he wants to continue his wrestling career, honestly, WWE's a corporately traded company. I do not fault them at all. Don't get me wrong. Fans might take this like I'm like, I don't want to see Bryan. I would give my I don't want to say I give my computer to see Daniel Bryan again. I would give up something. Like I would love to see my man back in. But you look at everything that's happened with injuries and everything. I think if they were to do one final match to capitalize on it, because why not if you're able to, and then move on. Like, because you got guys tonight like that are starting to punch their ticket, right? You're getting guys that are starting to get kind of towards that Bryan level. Braun Strowman is getting towards that level where you're getting built now. So when everybody's saying that you're doing, I saw a bunch of it's 2015 all over again, or it's this and this. I'm thinking like, what if they pulled the swerve? Like, I think that. You look at the Peep Show, you look at Jason Jordan, you got these new guys coming up. Jason Jordan I love his character, by the way. I know a lot of people hate him and don't think he does what he's supposed to. I love it. I think just like Sami Zayn in the smiling heel character, I think he comes across and it works because it shows this different side. I think it was Dave Lagana who had tweeted out. I was looking at this and I responded. I'm like, because you get to see his character traits, right? It's like if Alexa Bliss was fighting before, she used to like hide under the ropes. She used to like do this like, in situations. So here he is. Jason Jordan now just became champion and he's all cocky and full of himself. Do you remember when he lost like 7 matches in a row? Yeah. He has no reason to be cocky right now. This is character development, dude. Yeah. This is him literally. This is like when Braun Strowman started beating up local competitors and Triple H defended it and everybody's like, yo, this is bullshit. We want him to just do other stuff. He can't actually wrestle a match. Do you remember that disrespect when they said Braun couldn't wrestle because he was burying talent? And look at where we are now. So when people get mad at me for telling people to wait, if you were one of those people that said Braun was a look where we are now. They speculated Braun versus Brock 2 years ago, and everybody's like, I'm good. Look at us now. I want to see that goddamn match.
And see, the thing. So 2 things. So the thing that got me about Braun versus Brock at their match was, I'm okay with Brock going over, right? But I'm not okay with how he went over. Braun survived a damn ambulance crash, a damn compact garbage truck, but he lost to one F5.
No, no. He did that stuff after he lost to him. That's what I've been telling everybody. Is there was nothing that Braun did up to that match against. Are you talking about the No? You're talking about No Mercy, right?
Yeah,
in the 9-minute match, he hadn't done any of that. Braun was just like feuding against some of the smaller guys. Braun had never. He had pushed his way up after the Fatal 4-Way. We're setting up right now. Think back when CM Punk, his first title reign at SummerSlam, he got it taken away from him, so he flip-flopped for 2 months, and eventually he won it back, went on for 434. Daniel Bryan won the title at SummerSlam, dropped it, eventually got back in the title picture, won it at Mania. It was the biggest thing ever. Braun Strowman was in the title picture twice, and you were disappointed in the matches, right? So you were like, I wanted to see it because he'd been doing tables at that point. That's what he was doing. He was doing tables. He was putting people through tables. So he has this match where, he's putting him through a table. Everybody that I remember seeing that was talking psychology was like, oh, that's fine if Brock beats him, but he should at least put him through a table. Like that's because, that's what Braun was doing at the time. He buried him. He wasn't on his level. Now Braun is. Now Braun has gone through an ambulance. He's had chairs smacked on him from Kane. He's done all this stuff. He is, again, bottom of the barrel, Vince McMahon burying you, so that as you're building your way back up, you can't stop that goddamn train.
No, you can't.
You can't stop Braun Strowman. Like, what is it? What would make people brew Braun right now? I can't find a thing.
You can't. And I mean, it's just like Stone Cold when they try to back in the day, and fans were like, hell no, he can beat up on The Rock and Undertaker all he wants. We still love him. There's nothing you can do to make Braun be a heel. And honestly, I see this as the WWE is playing themselves the right cards, right? Because Brock's contract is up soon, right? Let's say Brock is like, you know what? I did my UFC thing. I wrestled for a while. I came back. I went right off to the sunset. I'm good. I'm done. Then it's like, okay, well, we need a monster. Kane is like, well, I'm out of here, guys. I want to be a mayor. I'm out of here. Bye. So then it's like, who the hell's gonna be your monster? Now Braun Strowman is the legit monster. He legit took the torch from Kane and Brock, massed them together and made one big ass torch, and now he's carrying it. So WWE has done a terrific job with
Brock's filled his point. Exactly what you just said. He came in. Brock took down Cena at first. He's went on this warpath through all these years. CM Punk, Punk's gone. Everybody's beaten. He's Triple H, went corporate. Look at everything that's happened. To where now I'll be honest with you, man. With Braun and Brock, I think they can fight their third match at Mania, and they don't need the title. Like you said, when we brought up this Beast thing, that's what I had speculated. I think like 3 months ago, I was like, I wanted to see them. Because once I saw that table, I'm like, this is building to a Mania match where they're going to blow expectations out of the water. But they don't need the title. This is 100% in a time where we can flip-flop the title. We'll keep fantasy booking. Let's go through the card really fast for anybody that's actually wanted to see it because we ain't got through much of it. Alexa Bliss, Charlotte, and Ric Flair met backstage. They had their segment. Bray Wyatt defeated Matt Hardy via pinfall. Let me jump in really quick to that. The reason they rushed that match because people are like, yo, this is an unannounced match. What's going on? Actually, during the Manhattan segment, they had a 205 live match that was 4 guys. It was Hideo Itami, Drew Gulak, can't remember who else was in there. And it went to all 4 guys ended up brawling to the back. And then they had a 2-minute squash match. And then the crowd started going like, bullshit, refund.
Yeah.
And they lost their mind. And then now you're watching Bray Wyatt just bury Matt Hardy, which, by the way, again, Woken Matt Hardy is Vince burying Woken. So when you finally get broken, you're like, Vince I love him. He's the best thing ever. Instead of just giving it to you right at the start when nobody knows who they are, right? Like you have to invest in, and this is what I said, people, and I'm eating my words now because technically I said in 2017 WWE had no interest in Broken Matt Hardy, right? He didn't start doing it until 2018, so technically my prediction was right.
No, you're right.
You bring this in. Nobody knows TNA had an audience of 300,000 people. As great as that character was in Vince McMahon's eyes, we have 3 million. They don't. I need to make sure people know who he is.
No,
So
you're right.
Woken Matt Hardy is going to lead to Broken Matt Hardy.
No, definitely. But my main thing, see, a lot of people don't understand, right? Vince McMahon is not going to take something that made outside of the company, bring it in, and then let it continue to make money. No,
in that same form, because you got to put your signature stamp on it.
He has to, right? He has to make it look, feel, smell, everything WWE. Like if they would have brought a broken gimmick in now, like they would have brought a broken gimmick in when Matt Hardy when it first came in and it's dropped in the WWE and it was like, okay, here you go. A lot of people are like, what the hell is this?
Because think about Mania, right? Like what you just said, like you have fans that only come back. I have tons of friends that only watch WrestleMania. And if you come back out of nowhere and you see Jeff Hardy, you're like, oh shit. If you come back, Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, if you come back and see Broken Matt Hardy and Brother Nero and the Drone, you're like, well, bro, where the fuck I been? Like, what have I been smoking? I know wrestling's fake, but when did this dude, now at least, as Woken, Broken, Token, whatever he wants to be called, at Mania, he'll at least get a video package to show what happened. They can show how he kept losing in WWE instead of having to acknowledge his TNA side of it.
No, I agree because I was watching my Twitter feed go and people were like, people like having to explain to my friends what happened to Matt Hardy is hilarious. So, like you said, a lot of people tonight, probably a lot of people that grew up watching wrestling was like Raw 25. They see Stone Cold being advertised, Trish Stratus, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Undertaker. They're like, oh, let me check this out. I haven't watched wrestling in a long time. I'll probably be cool to see all these old guys again. Just flipping through the channel on a Monday night. And you see Matt Hardy, and you're like, what? Like, this isn't what happened to him? Like just like you said, like a lot of people aren't the hardcore wrestling fans that we are. A lot of people tune in just for a casual view and they cut it off. There needs to be backstory on who's this person, what happened, how did we get here, what went wrong, what's going right, and where we're going. That all needs to be explained out to the casual viewer for them to understand what they're watching. Because if not, they're just like you said, they're gonna be like, well, what the hell have I been? Because why the hell is WWE wrong?
Yeah, like a guy that you grew up watching, all of a sudden repackaged for no reason, like an outside gimmick. And this is where I think it would be. I think this is where me, especially, like if you're a paying fan and they bring in a guy and they completely change it up, you're gonna get upset about it. Legendary women made. Oh, by the way, after that match happened, Brother Nero showed up because he was in a segment over at Barclays. All the women took the stage, like you mentioned. The Bella Twins, Maurice, Kelly, Leland Garcia, Jacqueline, Tori Wilson, Michelle McCool, Terry Reynolds, Maria Kanellis, and Trish Stratus. They all waved. Then we had the guy that I think WWE sees a lot in because they gave him 2. Everybody else had 1 segment. Elias Sampson ran into Jericho. Got on his list. And by the way, can we just point out that Jericho had didn't he have like a knockoff Bullet Club tee? Vince can't stop this man.
He had the alpha.
Y2J walks in, whips it out, and just is like, I'm doing this. Like he's like, who am I working with? He's like, you're gonna be working with this guy over here. Yeah, fuck you. I'm working with Elias. He's my guy. Like,
right? No, right. I'm telling you right now. Honestly, I think
he picked him. There's no way that Chris Jericho did not choose Elias Sampson.
This might be a hot take, but I think this Chris Jericho getting in this last year and a half might be one of his best runs that we've ever seen. Because when was the last? Like, when have we ever seen somebody wrestle in the WWE, take time away, come back for a little bit, go to New Japan, wrestle in their WrestleMania pay-per-view, come back to a Raw 25, probably gonna show up in the Rumble, then take his ass back to New Japan. They'd be like, all right, New Japan, thank you for the money. This was fun. And then come back from New Japan and be like, hey, WWE, I want to play for a little. Like,
wait, hold on. Are you still under the assumption that you think he's gonna? I think he's done at New Japan. I think it was a one and done.
No. Only why I say not because what's it like? New Year's Dash. It's like I don't butcher me, chat. But I'm trying to remember the pay-per-view name. But he got into a Naito, after like he attacked Naito. So like they're gonna build to that.
So they still have more stuff. Okay, I didn't pay attention to that.
Oh yeah. Like so the night after Wrestle Kingdom, they had another pay-per-view. Another show, not pay-per-view. And Jericho attacked Naito. And I'm just like, holy shit. Like, here I thought it was just Jericho and Kenny one and done. But he's like legit still in Japan doing another feud. And I'm like, holy shit. Like, he's really fighting Naito. Like, holy shit. So, if anything, I'm looking like, I don't think that, I look at Jericho and I'm like, I've never seen any wrestler in this magnitude be able to bounce from promotion to promotion and still hold that high stature.
And not even promotion, just being able to leave and go tour with the band and just come back without a gimmick. Like, just to know what the people want. Just to, like, I give Chris Jericho all the props in the world. My man is on a next level. He put him over, and then Elias comes out to the ring, and he has the thing with Cena. Okay, I'll be honest with you. I got this wrong 100%. I'm a man. I'll admit it. I thought Rock was coming out.
Same.
I thought Rock was coming out.
And only reason I thought Rock was coming out because they kept talking about his little like singing on the guitar.
Yeah,
like,
that's why I thought it.
I'm like, Elias. Oh yes, I'm so excited because I thought we were gonna have like a sing off between The Rock and Elias, and I'm like, this is gonna be fucking amazing.
We still can now,
like,
though.
Oh no, of course.
Yeah.
But then they were like, well, tonight you're gonna walk with Cena, and I'm like, but come on. And honestly, if Taker would have came out like. If I know shuffle, if we would have heard Big Evil, you're gonna pay, that would have been it. That would have made that segment go insane. Undertaker, him and Cena didn't have to mix it up. He could have walked out to the stage and looked at Cena.
Yeah,
we could have went to commercial break.
Yeah,
that's all I needed.
I still don't think we talked earlier about not needing Braun versus. I think we said Braun versus Brock happens, but it's not the title. If it's for the title, I'm fine because I would love Braun to win it. But for me personally, I think the Beast, who's the Beast of WWE, that's a story because that's marketable. That's not like, right? You don't need the title and Beast versus Beast. You want Beast, who's the Beast of the WWE. You show their war pass, what each one of them did over the last 5 years. Then you can do best friend Sammy versus KO. I mean, you're setting up simple stuff. Mark Henry and the Godfather had a weird reunion backstage. we had the Dudleys come out with the whole Titus Worldwide, Heath Slater Rhino thing that goes on. We got Devon get the tables. Still wild to me that you know what's going to happen and you still want to see it. Of course. That's the thing. You can't get too many tables. Ate them through the table. Then you had AJ Styles about to get an interview with Charlie, and AJ's like, nah, you're good, Charlie. Get out. And brought in Mean Gene. And right when that happened, can I just say, like, in my head, the way I envisioned that was a nod back to AJ Styles, thinking, I should have been here. You should have been interviewing my ass in 2004.
Right.
Like, that's what I thought. Like, I'm going back. I should have been here. I shouldn't have been anywhere else. Mean Gene's going to interview me on 25. Maybe it was just bringing in Mean Gene, of course. But to me, I was like, I kind of felt that status symbol. You know what I mean? Like, he deserved it.
No, I agree. And to me, the funniest thing about that whole segment when AJ did the whole Hogan impersonation, I was like, oh my God, WWE, just bring him back already. Like, you miss him, Vince. We know this. We can tell. Like, you miss Hogan. It's okay, bro. We know it. It's okay.
Eventually, I mean, you got my man suing every media outlet in the world. Eventually, Hogan's just going to own all the outlets and nobody can write anything bad about his return.
Oh, no, definitely. And I mean, honestly,
I'll still pop. I'll be honest with you. I did not agree with anything he said. It was like, God damn it. I felt like more of my legends like going down. But then I'm like, right. I'm still going to, I can't bullshit you. I'm still fucking popping for Hogan.
Like, no. But as you should though. That's the thing though too. Like, I'm a wrestling fan. I damn sure did not agree with what he said. But as a wrestling fan, it's like
you can't deny it. I mean, in that attitude, because of what I mean, because I don't want to go down the can of worms that I think we're leading ourselves towards right now. But yeah, based on what the situation, yes. Let's jump ahead to It's Just Too Sweet. Triple H and Shawn Michaels got the green the sticks, throwing them out there. Can I be honest with you? I never got a pair of those, and I always wanted a pair. I mean, I know they're just glow sticks. They're like we're doing whatever. I wanted the longer ones Like,
Yes.
did they have
Yes.
them or did Hardy have them? The longer ones that you clapped them together. Like, I wanted those
It was
so
both.
goddamn bad.
They both had them. It was like, I think the hard as they got older.
Because like if I could stand up and do this right now, the way he would do it, where he would just have in his back pocket and then he just like pulls them out and like I love that. I love that. Like just pull them right out of the pocket.
I thought it was a fucking ninja. Like it was amazing. It was everything I ever wanted. Yes, I agree. Yeah, I no lie to you. So this is gonna sound embarrassing. You know how Jeff Hardy used to come out with the glowing face?
Yeah.
So here I am, 8, 9 years old, thinking that I have a glow stick. If I break the glow stick, rub it on my hand and put it on my face is gonna go.
You ain't wrong.
That was the worst fucking decision ever in my life.
Oh, you actually did it. I honestly, I thought about multiple times breaking that thing to kind of like put it on stuff. And okay, so I'm glad you took the L for me.
It burnt, like my fucking face burnt. Like that was it. Man's not hot. Just know, man's not hot.
All right. So in that segment, I saw some people were surprised they mentioned China. I don't think they should be in this situation. I don't think that like when you pay back to history in the rightful time, like that's not a corporate thing, right? Like if you have a corporate thing, that's one thing. You're recognizing history. They cut back. I thought there was a lot of. I'll let the chat decide if there was a lot of commercials because I got all excited for the segment and then it went to commercial out of nowhere. I think when Scott Hall came in.
Yes. I was like, what the hell is this? Like, if you're gonna cut to commercial, like wait till at least gets in the ring. It didn't cut to commercial. He's coming out and he's like, he's in his razor gimmick, right? So he's doing his little side stroll through. I'm like, I want to see that shit. Like,
maybe he couldn't do it, and that's why. So they needed to let it. They needed to because they were at Manhattan, right?
Right.
Yeah. So unlike Taker, maybe that 10 feet is just too much tonight, man.
So honestly, you might be right though. To be honest.
I mean, because I'll go back and I'll give you props for that. It's been speculated about the biker gimmick, right, with American Biker. Once you teleport to a ring at the previous year's WrestleMania, what the hell are you doing? So bring it back. A bike.
Bring that bike out there, bro. Just roll your ass down on that bike way faster. To be honest, nah. But
just to be the outlaw for Cena. That's what I would love. I would love him to turn. In my dream way, we're gonna break all this down eventually, talking about this stuff. But I would love to see, if I'm being 100% honest with you, and this is gonna sound so. I would love to see because does John Cena win the? Is he at the point where if he wins, he breaks the record, or does he have to get one more?
Yeah, no, if he wins, he breaks it.
Yeah, so I 100% let Cena win the Rumble. Or not, well, I don't know. Do I want Cena to win the Rumble, or do I want him just to get a title shot? I think this was the craziest thing I'm going to throw out there. This is my wild card prediction. I am going to say Kane wins on Sunday. Kane will be your WWE World Heavyweight Champion. He is going to lose in Elimination Chamber, or he's going to lay down for his brother and do the right thing, because everybody, brothers included, fall for the Reaper. And I just messed up his quote. Because that's we talked about this. How are you going to get Beast versus Beast? How are you going to do it? I have been the biggest Kane fanfic dude. I have said when Kane interfered with Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton, I said this is a philosophical change to show them Kane coming in and splitting Bray from the Wyatt family so he's on his own. It came true. The year before, Daniel Bryan comes in, splits him. Kane is a steward of WWE, and once you all realize how awesome Kane is, you know what I need to do? Our show, between us, we need to find a guy that loves Kane so goddamn much he's got a mask. If only I knew somebody like that. If only I knew somebody that also shares my love for Kane that can get on here for my Kane fan fiction. So I have the writing for Kane fan fiction. This man has the love for professional wrestling. You are going to see Marcus Stevenson be coming on in a mask at some point to back up my love. Because Kane, you are rewarding Kane. People are going to bitch and complain that Kane won, but you are separating Braun versus Brock. And when you get Braun versus Brock in a 30-minute, they literally destroy the whole fucking arena. You're going to go, Kane becoming champion was the greatest goddamn decision in the world. Kane, I love you. Like, because if Kane wins the championship, you're going to get AJ Styles versus Nakamura. You're going to get the wet dream pay-per-view of your lifetime.
I'm going to tell you right now.
I'm going to tell you now, brother.
AJ Styles, Alan Jones versus Shinsuke Nakamura.
That's what's in my fan fiction. They're right here. If you look at what I have, I literally have in my Rumble Miz and Bryan at number 1 and 2. Miz eliminates him right away. Miz grabs a microphone, drops a promo until the next guy comes out. The next guy is Braun. As Daniel Bryan's walking up the apron, he passes Braun. As Braun comes down, he beats the shit out of Miz, but he does not eliminate Miz. Roman is the very next guy, or Brock, and then they literally are just warring for the whole show. Because you can add this another match, because think if they both lost and they both got in the Rumble and they both got out early, instead of being number 28, 29, 30, like everybody's expecting Roman or Brock or the big name guys to be, and they had to literally go to war for another 30 minutes after already being in a 30-minute title match against Kane and everybody, and then you have them go to a 60-minute, like a huge match at WrestleMania? Bro, you can't tell me Braun Strowman ain't going to be the most over motherfucker for the next 10 years.
No, I agree.
Oh, I'm getting a little moist thinking about it. And moist, is that a dirty word? I don't know. Moist. I'm getting a little moist feeling about this.
No, I ain't gonna lie. I address. I do think that if, damn, no, I agree though. If Kane did win, that could help set the fucking table for Mania on a lot of matches. You don't have Brock walking out. You can have a workhorse somehow winning the WWE champion, which would be dun.
Yeah, paying back to Mark Henry, right? You can lay it down. Right. Because if you're truly, let's say this. Let's say you're truly going that American badass route. Does he take his brother down with him? They both are outlaws. Remember, all the speculation this year was Kane's coming back. Why does Kane come back? He's coming back for his brother. Yeah, brother. No, I agree. He's back for his brother. Okay, well tonight I think we agreed that he kind of laid down the character, the Reaper. He is done being the Soul Collector, and now he's time to lay down the law. And what better way to do that with his brother? Maybe his Kane wins the title. He challenges him right away for the pay-per-view, and you do it that way.
I mean, honestly, I'm all for that.
Because you can do a quick blow-off, because you have, 2 months until WrestleMania. So you could easily fit in a match where Taker wins the title back, and you're getting Taker versus Cena for the title. So you have American badass Undertaker with the title, and then you have challenging John Cena trying to break the record forever. Except, guess what? American badass, the guy that gave up his Reaper, he takes out John Cena. John Cena never wrestles again. The Undertaker is the hero of the WWE, and his streak, his legacy... He's 22 and 2 or 21 and 2, whatever.
Yeah.
But he prevented John Cena from breaking the one streak fans cherish the most. Some fans.
I like that. Honestly, I like
Retire
that.
him. Have Taker go out with the belt. And then you start a fucking tournament the next night. and throw everybody in there.
No, honestly, I like that. Honestly, I would like that if then WrestleMania came with The Undertaker saying he's riding off with the sunset. He's riding up the ramp on his motorcycle. Because he used to wear the belt around his neck.
Oh, dude, the neck, yeah. He just whips around his neck, his shoulder, and then he rides out with the title. That's what I'm saying.
That's all I need.
He never comes back. That's his riding out the door CM Punk moment as a screw you.
That's what I'm saying. That's all I need. And then Raw opens up on Monday night. As Raw after Mania, we got Stephanie and Kurt in the ring. And they're like, The Undertaker rode off into the sunset. But this starts a new era, a new dawn,
Look at us fantasy booking this shit. We're already doing it. This is why we love being a wrestling fan, man. We just love this feeling because you mentioned earlier when Seth Rollins got hurt, you didn't even possibly want to go to wrestling. As much as we argue with wrestling fans, that's a very real thing. If you're a casual fan, you only like Braun gets hurt, you're not going to watch WWE. I can't crap on you for that. You love Braun. That's why you watch wrestling. Why I'll watch wrestling is what happened in the main event, which is the last thing we'll finish on, because we already touched on Gallows, Anderson, the club, is Brock, Braun, and Kane, the brawl. I said it was going to be a pull apart. Everybody said it was going to be a pull apart. I was like, this ain't going to be a pull apart. I was hoping there was going to be bodies around the ring, but that didn't happen. Like, get a little ahead of myself. Could you imagine, if they all try to get in there, Kane goes to choke slam somebody, and then all the legends take him out. Right. So he's buried. He's the guy that's going to win the title. But then Braun and Brock simultaneously, one guy comes in the ring, suplex. One guy comes in the ring, power slam. Then they all come in, and then both of them simultaneously push every single one of them off of them. And dude, I would have blown my shit for that.
We've seen something like that, right? Even Rick and Braun sloppy, but there was stuff like that where Goldberg was out here kicking security guards and almost tearing his shoulder rotator cuff, throwing people over the rope, and Brock was over here punching and slamming people. And then it was just them two, and then they went to go fight, and more security guards were in the ring. So it was like, oh fuck, soon like it made the excitement for you know what I'm saying? Like it made the excitement to watch the fight happen, right? Like it was there tonight. I get that they were on time restrictions, so that's why everything got fast forward. Like you press.
Can you judge tonight as a full episode of Raw? Is it a fair assessment for those? Maybe we have some casual fans tuning in tonight, and we have a lot of hardcore fans that are like we're really braiding into it, and maybe as a casual fan that kind of tunes you off. Was it a bad show tonight? I 100% think it isn't. I don't think you can ever, especially when you have a segment show. It's hard to because. A big reason is you get all these guys is nostalgia, because whether it's good or bad, there's going to be people that just love the nostalgia. It's like you had the crowd booing and wanting refunds at Manhattan. But when the DX thing happened, there was I saw tears on grown men's faces up in the upper, like hitting those X's. Like that's a thing. Like the one guy started patting the dude on the face. Like I think one
thing that I'm sorry, I'm going to cut you off.
No, go ahead. You're good.
The only thing I would say about Raw, I think tonight was good. I do think that doing it into two arenas kind of came back to bite them.
Yeah.
In a way. I love the idea. The idea was amazing. The idea was great. I'm pretty sure if they was able to get in some of the people that they probably wanted to get in, like The Rock, maybe a Goldberg, if they was able to get those kind of guys in, I'm pretty sure it would have been like that Manhattan crowd would have been good. Wait a
minute, save those guys for the Rumble, because we just got all the guys for the pop, right?
Right, of course.
Goldberg, let Goldberg come out at number 30. They get eliminated right away. Be like, everybody's like, oh God, no, please no. You just bring out. That's what should happen, dude. You know what? How I want to predict this right now. Everybody that comes back that like would be coming in at number 28, 29, 30, as to pay homage to what they did. Let's hark this back to Miz. Let's say our Final Four is Nakamura, Miz, Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, right?
Right.
At the end 3, you get, or maybe you save Brock. You have Roman and whoever, a combination of these guys, right? They're beating the hell out of each other. All the big name dudes that come in that everybody's like, oh fuck, they're gonna win. You eliminate them right away.
Yes.
You have Braun show how dominant he is.
Yes.
And literally just get the fuck out of here, Goldberg. Yo. The Rock, get the fuck out of my ring. Like he just shuts everybody the fuck down. And Braun Strowman, literally, I don't give a shit about number 30. 30 doesn't mean shit to me. Like you get the biggest pop ever, and he literally just takes Rock and fucking throws him out of the ring. Like I'm still hoping, and I'm gonna end this. My bigger discussions on this is Braun Strowman, the spot that I want to see the most. I'm setting myself up for failure for this. Is I want to see Braun Strowman in the Rumble. Or somebody that has the strength and the power, Braun Strowman, to throw Braun Strowman, Kofi Kingston, through the frickin' announce table on the outside, to where he throws him to the outside, he catches himself, he jumps back in, and Braun just chucks, because Braun's got a table gimmick, right? That's the only reason I thought of it. He's got a table spot. You just get a dude that Braun just heaves a little dude through the announce table. Like, oh my God. I'm ready, man. We got Royal Rumble coming up this Sunday.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I like that. I want in the Royal Rumble.
I want him, dude. I especially think if he's not going to win the title, you want him really chasing it. You want him going, what the do I have to do? And then this is where it comes back to my and I'm sorry, guys. I didn't realize I left my fan fiction on the screen for 10 minutes. Is the way that I have this ending. Let me play this out for you, and this is how Cornell and I are going to wrap this up. We'll have an outro and everything. At the end, Miz versus Braun is everything. He tries everything. He can't eliminate him. But then you come down to the final 3. You have Braun Strowman, The Miz, and Shinsuke Nakamura. Miz takes out Shinsuke's knee. Maybe he rolls out. Maybe he does whatever. Braun and Miz are going at it. Miz literally, this is David Goliath. Braun, Miz, they're fighting. He's trying to get him over. He finally does. He's hitting him. He can't do it. He's hitting him. He can't do it. You literally think Braun's going to cause the elimination here and do something? Miz goes running off the ropes. Nakamura trips him. Nakamura comes running in. Kinshasa runs back against Miz, who turns around. Kinshasa, and your 2018 Royal Rumble winner is Shinsuke Nakamura, because the Rumble should be used to put over a guy that doesn't have a build right now. Braun Strowman has a feud. Roman Reigns has a feud. John Cena has a feud. The Miz has a feud. But Shinsuke Nakamura, who is going to be an A-list performer in the WWE, doesn't have one. Unless they go Randy Orton, Shinsuke Nakamura, I would be fine with that, because like my Kane fan fiction, I have some Randy Orton Kane fan fiction, and Randy, Kane, and Big Show have formed the trio. So I want to thank my man Cornell for joining me. This is we kind of like hit out of nowhere, and then I hit you up for it, and then I once I fully realized how nuts into WWE you were, I think it played off pretty well. So I enjoyed this, man. Anything you want to shout out to the peeps, the people that want to know who you are?
Yeah, you can always hit me up on Twitter. I always take at Cornell Gunter, at CORNELL, last name Gunter, GUNTER. Also, check out NBA Live 18. That's out. But yeah,
big fan, dude. I'm gonna put it over harder than anything right now. All right, this is. Because I think it was the first time I saw the one of the tweets, because I think we'd followed you, but you had put out the one I had praised it originally. Is the maybe the more complete game, but I had so much more fun with the other one.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
That's where the price comes in. Is like I don't have any expectations that this is maybe whatever, but to me, I love the competitiveness, fun of just casual picking up NBA Live. It's cheap. It's an easy entrance point into it. Yep. I dive right in. Afterwards, you guys got the patch so I can take out Gordon Hayward, because me doing my videos, I was going nuts with Gordon Hayward. So you guys have patched that. You guys have been consistent. You guys have been giving me what I want. So you laid a good foundation for the future, is what 2K did and what they said, and they've been building on it every year. So I'm very excited to see where you go with it, man.
Right now, it's for me personally, it's just to get people to change their perception, because history is what it is. All you can do is not let it repeat itself. So all we've been trying to do is just, first off, just people to change people's minds of saying, "Oh, I'll never play touch that." When people are like, you know what, this is like, let me try this, and now that we're getting more people actually trying the game, it's a win for us. No matter where you put it.
Yeah, that's the statement you just made. There is, when I picked that copy up for, I got the copy. I 100% thought $29. I absolutely got my money's worth. You got the core, you got everything. I don't have to worry. I don't have to worry about VC crap. I can do my gimmick. The loot boxes, to me, I wish I could buy some of this stuff, because like I feel like I always get like the worst. My dude ain't even decked out yet. My dude looks boring as hell. Like I can't, like, I don't know. I see all these dudes running cool, because I don't have time to grind a little bit, but they be out here with full on stuff, and I still got the because I'll be honest with you, dude, I have two different ones. My one guy, my main guy that I created, is named John Cena, and he plays for the Phoenix Suns. So I was trying to get John Cena, so we're on the same page.
I like that. I like that.
I was gonna do Daniel Bryan. No, I did Vince Russo UFC 2.
I like this.
I did Daniel Bryan or Vince Russo. Yeah, I have to go back and look that up now. If I did Vince Russo, or if I did Boom Boom Vince Russo UFC 2 walkthrough, or CM Punk. I don't remember who I did that I ended up doing. I'll have to go and find it. But yeah, it's one of those things. I'm excited for EA. That's when does UFC? Oh my god, we got so much stuff coming out.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff coming, man. It's an exciting time. I tell you right now, I think that the one thing I do wish for video games is that, like, everything seems like it's so cut and dry, right? Excuse me. So it's like, you got 2K, Madden, FIFA, Call of Duty, Star, that kind of lineup. I like that more games are coming into the mix and grabbing people's attentions and giving people more ways to play and like more ways to have fun. Because when you have the strategic of regular like Madden, 2K, FIFA, blah blah blah. Like when you have those straight things come up on and on and on and on, it gets boring after a while, because if you don't enjoy the main game, just like you don't really, like you haven't really tried anything else, you don't really know what else to play. So then you're just kind of like, okay, well, this isn't fun. So then like the gaming experience isn't the same. So I'm happy that a lot of games are coming back in. A lot of games are, reinventing themselves and becoming more appealing.
Yeah, and not just, I mean, we have another sports game that debuted in kind of like, oh god, fashion, is the MLB game.
Yes.
That got licensed for them. That came out. It was like, oh my god! And then they just announced the features today, which we were going to cover on Sports Gaming Universe. And we got busy with the 25 Raw 25 video for my channel. So it'll be interesting to see, especially with game development. I know you're a producer. We'll eventually have to talk about this because I know Marcus would talk about the game development side too at EA and 2K. I'll be honest with you, I don't know how much more realistic we can get, and this is just me personally. I know there's a lot of stuff they can do, but I don't even know as a video game, guys. You're sitting there. I know there's a lot of stuff you can do. Going through a checklist of what's the most important, I give you all the credit in the world, man. Just like I give the wrestling fans all the credit in the world for sticking around, staying with them. You got Vince McMahon.
Vince McMahon and his family basically ruined me and watched me grow up, basically. Like I've been
and you paid him the opportunity.
Think about it, like
you paid him to Rosen. They're your parents.
Man, listen, I'm the guy that was 7 years old. I saw a commercial that SmackDown was coming to Orlando, and I banged on my parents' door at 10 o'clock at night. It was like, I want to go to SmackDown. My dad's like, if you want to take your ass to sleep, next thing you know, we get tickets, and we're like, my parents, like my mom's love wrestling growing up, and so it was so much fun watching with her because she loved Stone Cold Steve Austin. And she loved like the attitude era and stuff. So my first wrestling show was me sitting at the TD Waterhouse, which is now like the Amway Arena. But me sitting all the way at the top, like way at the top, like my back against the wall of the goddamn.
Okay, I was about 10 rows below, but that was the same thing. I was upper deck my very first time, and against the wall.
Yes, yo, and then like up there, just my first wrestling. Pyro, when you're that high up, seems like it's coming your. So when you're 7 years old, that freaked me the hell out. I screamed and cried forever.
Oh, gosh.
But then there was another show coming up. My mom was like, "You sure you want to go?" I was like, "Hell yeah, I want to go!" But then let me wrap this up. But the funny thing is that so we stand out. We're at Ticketmaster because we used to have a Ticketmaster stuff here for like shows and stuff. You can go line up there to get tickets because back then online wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
So
the box office.
Yeah, of course. So we're standing out there. We got to like 5 o'clock in the morning, right? So they come out. They're like, all right, we're gonna pull your name. Like everybody has a ticket. Like the first 40 people pull out a ticket, and if you call your number, you're gonna be first in line. So guess who fucking number they call? Mine. So let me tell you how I ran up to the reception. Like I want front row. Like I want the first row. My mom was like, hey, relax. And I was like, no, what you mean, woman? So
wait, when she got you those tickets, because you said she was a Stone Cold fan at the time, when you got those tickets, because I'll make it so did you those upper deckers, is that what was left, or is that what you bought? And then now that you got more invested in it, it's like, I don't care what it takes, we getting these damn tickets. These tickets are happening. No, we hustling. I'm mowing lawn. I'm 7. I'm going out with a goddamn lawnmower, and I'm getting that money.
That was it. Bro, and it was the crazy thing because like the show wasn't for like another 2 or 3 months. Like so.
Oh, I remember having to save up for tickets and shit like that. Yeah, dude.
Bro, like we were sitting on these tickets for like 2 to 3 months, bro. And Raw comes around, and so I go there, and I got my DX shirt on. I got some fucking jeans on. I'm just walking in there. I'm all cool. I sit. First person I see is Lillian Garcia, and that's when the Dudley Boys first came out with the "What's Up" thing. Yeah, so I look at Lillian Garcia, I'm like, "What's up?" And she said it back to me, dog, and she said it back to me. And from that moment on, I was like, I fucking love this thing. I don't give a damn about nothing.
They just make your moment, right? Because that's what wrestling does. Wrestling creates moments, and then when they validate your moments, it's awesome. Because it's something that you care about. It's simple, right? It doesn't even have to be a big thing. People call wrestling fake. I don't give a shit. If you build up a rapport with me and I care about it, and then you do it, I'm gonna reward it.
I just tell people always say wrestling's fake. I say, can I do a brain buster right quick? Because if I can do a brain buster and you get up fine, then it's fake. But if you don't, then it's not fake.
I don't recognize that word, and I don't think H4B, because once we're fans, and this is the 100% truth, I think going forward from tonight on, man, I think we're the voice of the people. We reach out to the fans. I don't care why you're there. Like you said, you had said tonight, you the biggest WWE fan you are. We've got you on record saying that Seth Rollins got hurt. You were about to walk away. I need to see the receipts. Did you tune in? Did you tune away? We got to figure out why. If there's a casual fan that stopped watching, we got to bring him back, bro.
I just talk shit. Like, trust me. Nah, I live and breathe wrestling. Like WWE. Like,
Okay.
I bleed normal human blood, body armor, drink, and WWE. Like, that's literally all I bleed. Like, literally. And
it's got to go.
Like legit. Like, I'm probably like the only person that you'll see. Like, I'll tweet. I'll start my normal casual tweet, and then see basketball, then it's wrestling.
I have the worst. I'll be honest, I can't even do social anymore, man. I have the worst fucking, like, I used to care about it, but it's gotten to the point, like, after the whole election thing happened, I've blown out my Twitter so bad. I have no brand value. I have no nothing. They're just threads and fan fiction that are that just literally. I tweet more, I think, than now that I just doing stand up comedy. I just got myself a notebook. I'm just gonna start writing this shit down.
Well, it's crazy because so like dev and stuff, like, believe it or not, when I first started talking about wrestling on my Twitter handle, because it's like this is like I work day and night, on NBA Live, right?
Yeah.
I come home, I'm playing the game all the time. I'm playing, but then after a while, I'm like, you know what? I see this wrestling Twitter stuff. I'm like, yo, these people are freaking cool, and I'm like, I'm liking stuff, I'm liking it, and I'm like, I'm not engaging into it. So one day I said, fuck, bump it. I'm just gonna engage. I'm gonna let people know I'm like.
So you were scouting low down underneath like me for Call of Duty. So that was let me pull the curtain back really fast before we end this. Exactly what he just said. How he was like peeking in. He's like, yo, I'm over here with my NBA dudes. Maybe we can relate this. Maybe we can draw in some of those UFC They just sit on the outside and they like, yo, UFC and I'm like, yo, I'm gonna bring you in. I got some candy. Get in my car. Get over here. We need to bring in those people because, like, I think, oh my god, why the hell was that on my timeline? I just watched that was weird as hell. I watched Buzzsaw the Badass. Dude, some of these sequences are back in wrestling. I'm sorry to go off topic. You go to Twitter. It's like you step your foot in, right? And I think, you're kind of ballsy to get in there. But for me, because if you didn't talk about WWE on your Twitter, some people may be like, what the heck? For me, for WWE 12, 13, 14, I slept and breathed Call of Duty. WWE was my job to the point where I love doing it, nothing wrong with it. But the second I was done for the day, I was playing Call of Duty.
Right, of course.
But I never tweeted about it. So the second I started talking about tournaments, they're like, this is the most inauthentic bullshit I've ever seen. You're just trying to go after Call of Duty. I'm like, I have 74 days played on Modern Warfare 2. Like I literally ran tournaments. I was literally a semi-pro in COD 2. Like I literally played in tournaments and won money on PC. Like, no, COD is my lifeblood. But for the community, for what I want to do, wrestling is that. And I think you and I fit. We both have that passion. We love it. I'm the forward thinker. I'm looking a little bit ahead. You react to it. We may be getting some hopes up of the people.
Yeah, of course.
Is that a bad thing though, man? Is it going to come back to bite us?
Nope.
If you listen to tonight and everything that happens, it's going to be fire. But Cornell, thank you for joining. We're going to wrap it up there, guys. I'm going to look at really fast some of the comments. George said Manhattan got screwed. I don't know. Do you think they got screwed? I think the last moment made up for it. Every single person in that building was on their feet. I saw tears. I think they got screwed out of it for the fact that they were like facing 205 live. If they charged them more in a limited edition seating, then I would bitch.
But the thing that gets me though is that, you're at the Manhattan Center knowing damn well that this is also being played at the Barclays.
And you choose
17 to 19,000 in it. You think they're going to show a couple hundred people versus 17 to 19,000 people sold out?
Yeah, constantly. This is going to get in there. I did the last rookie mistake I want to acknowledge because I admit my defeats. When I saw the picture today, I went, where the fuck are the balconies? Because in my head, I honestly slipped up and went, oh, never mind. That's the Hammerstein Ballroom. I slip up in wrestling history. Hopefully you guys don't hold that against me. Cornell, thank you for joining me, man. You guys can follow him at Cornell Gunter. You guys can follow me at Tubby Emu. I hope you enjoyed it, guys. You probably, if you're seeing this right now, you haven't seen me in a while. I hope you guys subscribe. I want to do these. I don't think right now I want to do these after Raw and SmackDowns. I want to do them on bigger events in more of a podcast form. So hopefully you do stick around. So until next time, it's your boy Tubby Emu. Cornell, thank you. And we will see you guys later as Daniel Bryan and The Miz. They don't even have to wrestle. They don't. They don't, because the whole point of this leaked sheet was to prove, guys, don't have that thought that if Daniel Bryan isn't 30 or doesn't win, it's pointless because it's wrestling. It doesn't matter, and we can enjoy it. Until next time, we'll see you all later.